So everyone's been talking about this whole high ticket sales thing for so long, acting like it's this magical money printer and you can actually take 3 calls a day, make 30 grand a month, and your life is amazing and everyone's taken care of. And well, you can make some really, really good money with this thing. I want to give the honest and brutal truth about this high ticket sales space and just give you some credibility. I've been doing this for over 4 years at this point. I've made multiple 6 figures just closing itself, probably over 7 figures at this point. If you count managing sales teams and closing. And I think this industry is on the come up again. If you were to ask me like 2 or 3 years ago, like high ticket sales was just not like a good offer. Like not many people wanted to do it. But I think with like Iman becoming a part of WAP and courses and like becoming a huge thing now, as it was 2 or 3 years ago, but there's gonna be more of a need for closers and setters, but really, really good ones. So I just really want to talk about my experience with high ticket sales and the brutal truths, whether that's good or bad about high ticket sales, and give you hopefully the real inside of look of what this industry is actually like. So we'll start off with the good first, because I don't like talking about the bad first. Obviously, we'll get the elephant out of the room. There's a lot of income potential. And to tell the truth, I didn't make money for probably the first 3 or 4 months of sales just because I was on bad offers for a very, very long time. My first ever month setting, I made $800. Then it was like 2K, then it was like 5K, then it was like 7K. My first ever month full-time closing was 11K. Then I was ranging anywhere from like 11 to like 17K, and then started hitting these 20K months and 25K. Then my biggest month just fully remote closing was 35K. So don't get me wrong, you can make a fuck ton of money and learn a fuck ton of things, but I don't want you to think like, oh my God, it was the easiest thing in the world. But of course, I've done more than just sales. I became a sales manager. I've done a lot of consulting. I've now am running a sales agency that consistently does anywhere from like 80 to over 100K a month. So this can be very, very scalable, not just on calls, but just in total, like the skill sets that you're learning. This is very, very scalable, of course. The good thing about it is that you're not losing money. You're just losing time, I guess. I had a good talk with one of my friends. He's huge into crypto and stuff like that. And he's just going through a bunch of like things that traders will go through, just like ups and downs in terms of mindset. But like, don't get me wrong, you have to get those in high ticket sales, but it's not like you're down 30 grand in a month. It's not like you're down 100 grand in a month. It's just there's an opportunity cost. Like, oh, I made 20 grand this month and I made 10 grand the next month, right? So the good thing is you're not losing money. If anything, you're just losing money opportunity cost wise. Another huge thing is location independence. Like I literally did this from my college fraternity house, then I moved to a nicer part of Tampa, did it there, moved to Miami, did it here. But I want to be truthful, that's not like me taking calls on the beach. Like I honestly don't know how remote sales reps travel as much as they do. The ones that travel, I think they make less money than the ones that don't travel. But yeah, like there is a level of location independence. Like for example, one of my closers on my team is coming down to Miami today. He blocked off his calendar for the first part of the day, and now he has calls the second half of the day. So like you can get it done, but is it ideal? Definitely not. The also really, really good part about it is like, I think you learn a lot more skills than any other business model out there. For example, like if I were to do TikTok Shop, I think you can make more money doing TikTok Shop. Like there's TikTok Shop people doing 6 figures a month. But to be fair, I don't think you learn that many skills doing TikTok Shop. Like you might learn a little bit of marketing, you might learn a little bit of sales, but like, dude, I learned pretty much how to run a business by just being a sales rep because I understood the marketing, I understood the sales, I understood fulfillment, I understood everything. So like now that I'm coaching, like I understand everything. I understand how to run a business. Me moving to sales management and sales agency, like having that foundational skill of sales first helped me with leading people and managing people and all that kind of great stuff. So I think you learn a lot of skills along the way, which is a huge benefit of it. Like I mentioned before, people skills. Like if I wasn't a good salesperson, I don't think I'd be able to manage and deal with the amount of stuff that I deal with on a day-to-day with my sales agency if I didn't understand sales at a high level. And of course, the leadership part of it, like again, like the cool part about it is while I was closing, I was also coaching as well. So like sales management at this point has became very, very easy for me because like I've always just been leading from the front. I've always been known as like the leader on my teams and stuff like that. So obviously that's a huge part that I learned from being on calls. And yeah, you just learn a lot of cool skills that you can use outside in different businesses, I think, compared to a lot of other business models. And there's the lifestyle portion. Again, like I don't want you to think that you can just fuck off for a whole day and expect money to come in. You might get money through rebills or like follow-up deals and stuff like that. But like if you're not working today, you're not making money, like realistically, right? But a really cool part about it is like you can travel from place to place and meet a lot of people. Like for example, one thing that I think is really, really good when I was a closer is like I just made a lot of connections. Like now I'm connected to all the business owners that I was working for technically, and now we're all really, really good friends. Like I have a really, really good network. If I ever need anything from these people or they need anything from me, they can always come to me. And I feel like I've made a lot of great relationships because I've crushed for the business owners I worked for, and now they trust me to help them with their businesses now. Also too, another really great part about sales is that if you really, really want to be able to challenge people, you got to challenge yourself, right? So this means mentally, physically, spiritually, everything. So like, I think sales just allows you to become a better human being than you were before, because people won't buy from you if they can tell there's not congruency, right? If you're telling people challenge yourself, invest into yourself, and you've never invested into yourself, they're not going to trust that, right? Like I was watching a call the other day, and my sales rep who actually did this, the guy was like, I mean, dude, would you hop on a random 30-minute call and just invest into yourself for $5K? And sales rep was like, yeah, I've done it before. And that's all he said, right? So I was like, yeah, see, that's congruency, right? You're asking me, would you do that? Yeah, I have. Like OBS, I have, right? So I think sales will teach you a lot about yourself. And at the end of the day, I really, really believe it's a personal development game. Like one thing I talk about on my channel a decent amount is like how I went through a huge weight loss transformation. I lost about like 100 pounds throughout high school, and it relates a lot to sales because it's like you just got to keep going day by day by day, even when you don't want to, and you got to tell yourself things you don't want to, even if it's not the best thing. So like it's a great thing to learn. It's a great, like there's no business that sales isn't going to be involved in. There's no part of life that sales isn't going to be involved in. It's a huge thing for personal development as well. Now that I got it out of the way, the pros of you make a lot of money, turns into a better human being, you make great connections, you learn a lot of skills. Let's talk about the bad and the cons of the whole thing as well. In no way, shape, or form is this ever going to be like passive income. Like it's like a thing like ecom where like one of my really, really good friends that I work with, he runs an ecom portfolio, and like I just see the freedom that he has. I'm like, holy shit, I want to get to that level, right? The ability to step away from like weeks from your business because you've built a team to handle the day to day. It's a really, really cool sight to see. And to be honest, with high ticket sales, that's just not really a thing. So I don't want you to think it's a thing. Like, dude, when I was making 20 to 30 grand a month, like I was working 12 hours, 14 hours, 15 hours a day pretty much, including like admin work and responding to texts and all that kind of stuff. Like it requires a lot of freaking work. And one thing I will tell you about work too is like now that I'm more on like the back end of businesses and I don't have to like speak as much, like me like typing on my computer is a different level of work compared to me speaking to someone for 12 hours a day, right? Like speaking just breaks my brain at this point. Obviously I'm good at it. I make YouTube videos all the time, but like it's just a different level of work. Like the tiredness from typing compared to the tiredness from speaking is just a whole different type of fatigue on your brain. And yeah, like don't get me wrong, like there's a lot of BS marketing out there. Like, oh, I think people are starting to wake up to it. Like I think more and more people are trying to be real of like, listen, you're not gonna go work at the beach. You're not like, dude, when I think of people working at the beach, I just think of like sand in your laptop and your Wi-Fi connection doesn't fucking work. Like it's not gonna happen. Don't get me wrong, like you can rent out a cool villa and sit, but like you still need air conditioning, or I don't know, air conditioning, but you need Wi-Fi, you need all these different things. Like it's not as like sexy as the marketing seems like it's going to be. That's why I've never really traveled when I was a closer. I still don't really travel now, but I never really traveled when I was a closer because I just knew how annoying and how like hard it was going to be to work during those times. And also too, like why travel to a different country or a different state if I'm just going to be on calls 12 hours a day? Like let me just get out of sales and then I'll travel. Like that's the way I looked at it, which maybe isn't like the most sustainable way, but it is what it is. And then you will get burnt out too. You got to realize, like, especially if you're on the same offer, selling the same things, like you're just having the same conversations over and over again. Because at the end of the day, like that's why there's like 3 real objections to this game, because like everyone's about the same. Even though people need different things, they operate in different ways. Like they're all people. Like there's probably like 3 different types of people you're going to be speaking to. Like college students, 9-to-5ers, and business owners. Like that's really it who you're going to be speaking to. And like the conversations become the same, which is the good part because it gets really, really easy after you do it for a while. But the bad part of it is you just get bored sometimes. It's just like, dude, I've been doing the same thing over and over again for so damn long. So let's talk about like the learning curve next and like how long it took me to actually start making money with this thing as well. So the first 3 months in the sales, it might have been like 3 or 4 months. Like it absolutely sucked. Like, and the reason for that was because I just wasn't getting on good offers. I had this ego that I was like, oh, I don't want to be a setter. I only want to be a closer. And having that ego really, really slowed my progress down because, like, to be honest, like coming into the space and expecting to be a closer if you've never had any experience in business or sales at all, like it's no good company is going to hire a completely new closer unless you're like just a savage outside of life or outside of sales as well. And like I was 18 years old. I was going out 3 times a week. Like I don't think anyone wanted to hire me as a full-time closer just yet. So yeah, like the first 3 months I was just on bad offers because I was just like looking for this golden ticket to closing, but like it just didn't work out that way. So I probably made $0 the first 3 or 4 months into sales. Then again, my first ever commission month was like $800. Then went from like 2K to like 5K to 7K to like 10K to like 15 to like 20 to like 25 to like 35, and it just kept going up from there. But like it took a while to get there. But like, dude, now the people that I train now, like I've had someone come in and make $5,000 in the first month. I've had someone come in and make $20,000 the first month as a closer working for me. So that's why obviously investing to yourself is a huge thing, because they didn't have to go through the shit that I had to go through when I first started. Also, another thing in terms of learning curve, like people try to like buy your way to success. Like they think that just because you invest into a sales coaching program means that you're going to just instantly be very, very good. How I think about it, I used to do this all the time too. I used to play like NBA 2K, and I had money when I used to sell autographs and stuff like that. So I would just buy VC for my player. I would get it for like an 80 overall. But I was still asked because I didn't know how to use the player yet, right? So like it's the same thing. Like you can buy all the sales training in the world. Like I have people that I know that buy like 3 or 4 sales trainings at a time, and even though I tell them not to, and it's just like they're just trying to buy their way to success, even though it's going to take time. Like I didn't feel really good at sales. It's like a year and a half in. And then even now, if I look at myself a year and a half in, I'm like, dude, that was ass. So like you just keep getting better over the years. Like don't get me wrong, you can get pretty decent in a few months, but like you're not A+ yet. And I think a huge issue is like everyone tries to like go for framework to framework to framework to mentor to mentor to mentor. They think that's gonna fix it, but like realistically, they just haven't given it enough time yet. Like I think everyone forgets like this is a business at the end of the day. Like what business in the real world allows you to go from like 0 to like 50K in a month in 6 months? Like not many profit. So like you got to treat this like how you should treat it. Another huge thing in the learning curve too is like you never really know what's a good offer until you actually learn. So again, for the first 3 or 4 months I was on bad offers. Don't get me wrong, I've been on bad offers after that, but like me having a personal network and like posting my story and posting my journey has helped me get better opportunities. So yeah, like there's bad offers out there that will waste your time and it'll make you want to quit, but you just got to keep pushing through in order to find the really, really good ones. Another big thing is the pressure and stress. Like I told you before, like you are dependent on other people, you're dependent on other businesses. So there could be months where you make, like for example, I'll give one of my best friends, Jacob, like I don't want to dox, but he made over 40 grand profit in a month one time, and the next month it was like less than 10 probably, just because of the marketing, just because we did a launch. And like it's honestly kind of hard to find sustainability when closing, but I think that's like the fun part of it. But like if you're like trying to like raise a family like and like have consistent income, like sales probably isn't like the best thing for you. Don't get me wrong, like organic offers is mostly where that lays, where like you have the huge inconsistent months and stuff like that. If you can find yourself like a paid offer where they're consistently doing like 500, 600, $1 million a month, and there's 3 or 4 closers, like you can consistently ride the wave of 10 to 15 grand a month and chill there. But like, yeah, like when it comes to organic offer, it's very hard to find sustainability, to be honest. Like the reason why my closing career was very sustainable, because I was always offer stacking. So like I'd be stacking like 2 or 3 offers. So like if one offer was having a bad month, at least the other offer was picking up, and it didn't really reflect on my numbers an insane amount. Same time too, like you don't get residuals. Like that's why one of my other, like I just mentioned Jacob, he moves over to life insurance because you don't get residuals. Like most sales companies, like if you close a deal, you get paid on that deal for like a year straight or like a few months straight. Like closing is just like you make your commission and then you're on to the next deal and stuff like that, which is honestly is the beauty part of it, because you don't have like a super long sales cycle or anything. But like some industries, you can get paid out on deals for months and months at a time. And obviously the obvious one is like if you don't perform, you don't eat. So if you don't do dials, if you don't close deals, you don't make any money. I mean, that's pretty much any business, but yeah. And also too, isolation. Like isolation is a huge thing. Like I always see the ecom guys, like they'll go to like, there's a hookah lounge over there. They'll sit there and press buttons together and stuff like that, which is cool. Like closing, I don't take closing calls out in public, or else I won't be able to cook as hard as I want to. But yeah, like I don't really take calls in public. I don't like work in public. I don't work around other people. So like you got to be kind of isolated. Like if you're gonna go travel, like make sure you have your own room, or like make sure you go to a coffee shop. And do like even closing in coffee shops is so damn annoying. Like you can't hear the person on the phone, and like it's just not ideal to be outside of your house when you're closing. That's the way I look at it. And then I'll get into like the realities of the industry as well. Kind of like I was talking about before, is like in order to make really, really good money, you need to work a lot. Also too, like you need to be you just need to be a natural problem solver. Probably shouldn't use the word natural there. You can become a problem solver, but you just need to be a good problem solver. It's like, bro, if you're just like a very forgetful human being, and like you just don't like fixing problems as soon as they come up, like sales just probably isn't for you, because like you got to think about it, like you have to help people fix their own problems, and if you can't fix your own problems, like it just ain't gonna work. I mean, overall that's business too. And also too, you gotta constantly be learning, because like the market switches a lot. Like I see people using tactics like urgency tactics, like, oh, we have 3 spots left, are you committed to joining today? Like they try to use these tactics from like 2020, like, and because they used to work then, because nobody really knew about these fucking like info products back then. But like these things don't work anymore. Like more than everyone that has been looking into this info product space has probably been on a sales call before. They've probably heard these things before, and yeah, like these same tactics don't work. So you always need to continue to be learning. That kind of defeats the purpose, like I mentioned before, to always be investing to different mentors. I think investing into different mentors, like timeline by timeline, like let's say 6 months I'm with one, and then I implement that for the next year, and then I move on to a next one the next year, whatever. Like that's totally fine. But if you're just stacking them month after month after month, that's when you like never get anything down, and you just like almost are worse because you're trying to mix like 15 different processes into one. Another big thing too is like if you try to like offer jump, like I know people that I'll never hire on my offers. Like I obviously have a lot of good friends in this high ticket sales space, and they'll talk to me about closers, but like never hire this guy. I'm like, okay, I just won't hire him, right? And like they could be offering me for jobs, or even just like if someone offer jumps for mine and it just wasn't like the right way to go about things. Like I'll tell my friends if they ever ask me like, yo, would you hire this guy? No, and that person just won't get a job for a good reason, but like you can get blackballed. So like come in and like be professional and like actually treat offers like how you would like to be treated, and you'll have a good reputation in the space. But that goes to vice versa. Like there's only so many good sales reps. Like if you have a really, really good reputation in the space, like everyone's gonna come to you. For example, like I have like 4K followers on Instagram, and I get hit up every single day for coaching, for consulting, for placing sales reps, because I've never fucked anyone over. And it'll continue to be that way, and people will continue to come to me because of that. And yeah, another huge like reality of the industry as well is that like network plays a huge part. I would have to say that's a huge reason why I saw my success in the space, is like I just had a great network through my brother, through Luke, through other people in the space, and like finding a closing offer after like the first 6 months of my career like wasn't hard at all. If anything, it was hard saying no to offers because I just didn't want to offer jump so quickly, but I was being thrown everything. So yeah, if you really, really want to crush in the space, get a good network, provide value to people, be funny. That's a huge one. Like me being funny and me just posting funny stuff has gotten me a lot of opportunities as well. So just be a pattern interrupt. Just be different than everyone else. Like just be a genuine human being. That's what I'm trying to get at. Because a lot of people are just like, there's no competitive advantage over people. Like if you're just someone that only posts sales calls, if you're the best, like people will hire you. But like if you're like funny, good culture fit, and you're good, like even more people will hire you, right? So I guess my key advice there is just don't be a weirdo. And now that I've talked about like the pros and the cons, I'll give you like the realistic expectations coming into sales. Let's say if you were to do it with a mentor compared to no mentor, I would say with a mentor, you can probably start making $2, $3, $4 grand within 90 days. If you're showing up to coaching calls, drafting the right questions, and if your mentor has good opportunities for you to be on. For example, like I'll give you guys an example of like Mikey, right? Mikey, he was one of my really, really good friends from college. Obviously I have a bias for him because I love the guy, and we got him on an offer, or he got it on an offer, I think his first month, and he made $6K. The next month he made like $17K with me on an offer as like a DM setter, which is freaking crazy. So I'm not saying everyone's going to have those results, right? But it's a lot quicker if you get a mentor. Not just because of the information or anything, but it's more of like the connections and just being able to place you on well-vetted opportunities. Because I think that was my biggest issue when I got in. I just didn't know how to vet opportunities well. So like if you have a coach that will vet them for you and be like, yep, this one's a good offer, like just do this one, it'll make your life a lot easier. So like I would say the first 90 days, you could probably get to $2 to $5 grand a month if you grind. Then like month 4, month 5, month 6, like you should be able to close by then if you're like actually practicing, you're actually trying. Could get to like your 7 to 8 to 10 grand a month. And then after that, like after a year in sales, you should realistically be at like 10 grand a month, and then consistently be able to hit like 10 to 15. And then if you want to find those offers where you're able to hit 20 to 30, I'm not saying it's easy to hit those numbers, but if you can find those offers once you're in the game for like a year or two. So it could be sooner, right? But like that's like the realistic expectations with a mentor. If I would say without a mentor, like maybe put double that time, because like bro, I'll be honest here, like nobody really hires off of cold DMs for really, really good offers anymore. Like if you're like messaging these teams that are doing over 500K a month and you're trying to get a closing role without like a middleman there, like let's say I'm the middleman between the 500K offer and between you, like it's easier to get it. But like if you're just like spreading cold DMs trying to get those roles, it's different. Like I think cold DMs work for like what I do now, like sales agency and stuff like that. But like for DM or for closing roles and like setting roles, like they don't work as good as they used to. Like, because people don't want to talk to the idiots anymore. That's the biggest thing. Like any business owner, they'll be like, yo, to be honest, I don't want to be worried about it. Can you just give me your best closer? Like I'll even pay you for it if you want to or whatever. So like these 20K opportunities, like you're not really finding them in cold DMs. Like it has to be through network and sales groups and stuff like that. So I would say if you're doing it with no mentor, I'd probably double that time that I just said. Like maybe your first year, you're getting to like that $5 to $7 grand a month mark. If you invest into no coaching and have no connections or anything. And I guess kind of wrapping it up here almost is like, what does it actually take to make it? Because I've talked about the pros and the cons and like the reality of it. Like I would say for like setting and stuff, like 3 to 5 hours is probably the minimum that would work. And again, like you better be like going all out if that's all you're working. You need to be able to control your mental state as well. Because again, you might have good months, you might have some bad months, and like if you're not like controlling your mental through that state and you aren't able to deal with hard things, this might not be for you. Discipline, like that's also a huge thing too. Like if one day is terrible on the phones and if you don't keep pushing, you just won't make any money. Like the ability that I had was like once I like narrowed, like especially when I was setting, like what I did was I took my cash collected divided by my dials. And I was like, oh, every dial I make $1. So if I just keep fucking dialing, if I do $200 a day, that means I made $200 today. And it just worked out that way mathematically. So like even just finding those little mental tricks to kind of trick yourself to keep dialing and keep doing the work is a big thing. I know you guys don't like hearing this, but like investing to yourself, especially for the sales space, is like the biggest thing. The fact that you can get the best opportunities and the fact that you can like, I'd say getting best opportunities is by far the biggest thing. Like you can watch a lot of YouTube videos and get pretty good, but it's just like, you don't have anyone to role play with. You don't have anyone to give you advice of like what offer you should take. You don't have anyone like giving you offers. Like it's just not the best to do without coaching, in my opinion. And then yeah, I'd say network is a huge thing as well. Like you best be like posting on Twitter, posting on Instagram, posting your call reviews, just posting your journey so people know who you are. Like I always say this is like, dude, whenever I hire a closer, like even if it's a closer not inside a closer cartel or whatever, or inside my sales training program, I always just go to the next best people that I know beside myself. So like I'll go to my other friend here, I'm like, what good closers do you have? Do you know who they're going to give me? They're going to give me the people that they know that are good, right? So like the more people you know, the better, in my opinion. And lastly, I'll just get into like who I think high ticket sales is a good fit for and who it's not for. So if you're like a college student and you have a lot of fucking time on your hands and you're hungry and you're willing to do whatever it takes, this is great for you. If you're a 9 to 5 worker, you better be able to work after your work days or even work during it. If you're working like a desk job or whatever, you better be able to work on the weekends if you're trying to do this shit. People that are competitive, like athletes and like people that have just been competitive their whole life, they'll love sales. It's because if you're on the right team, it can be a really competitive game and it's actually really fun. And then if you have like any sort of like leadership experience, like if like you were the president of your fraternity or you're like the captain on your baseball team or whatever, like this is also a great thing for you. But if you're like trying to get rich quick and like trying to get like the e-com numbers, like, hey, let me get to $1 million of revenue, of course, within like 90 days, like you're not going to be able to do that. But at the same time too, like that's not the most realistic thing in the world either. If you can't handle rejection and you're not competitive, it probably won't be for you either. If you're looking to like outsource yourself at some point and like have passive, even though like that's kind of BS, passive income, that won't be for you either. And people that just have too much of an ego, because if you have an ego in sales, what I tell my guys is like, do you want to be right? Do you want to be right or do you want to be rich? I want to be rich. Okay, then lower your ego. Like that's just the way it is. Like if you have an ego coming into this stuff, sales probably won't be for you either. But just to wrap things up, sales has changed my life. I don't want to seem like this was all like bashing on it, and like sales genuinely changed my life. It's going to continue to change my life because I haven't stopped using my sales skills. I haven't stopped. I'm still in this high ticket sales space with I even take sales calls from here and there as well. Obviously I'm a sales manager, sales agency owner, do a lot of consulting. Like this shit has changed my life in ways I could never think it would. And the money I've made and the money that you can make is super freaking real. It's just you're gonna have to work very hard, which is really cool because like now I have a hard work ethic because I was working 15 hours a day. Like when I work my 8 hours a day now, I'm like, hey, this shit's light. Like this shit's easy. And by far, I think this is still one of the best beginner business models you could ever do. And if you're trying to learn a lot of skills, but also make a lot of money from it, this is 100% for you. So my honest recommendation is if you sound like a person that this is for you, bro, hit the ground running. If you start sooner, I'm telling you, you won't regret it. If you obviously want to take things seriously and get some coaching, I have coaching. This video really wasn't about that, but I'm a sales guy, so I'm obviously going to plug that shit. So link in the description to apply. But yeah, this is the honest truth about high ticket sales, who it's for, who it's not for, and just the reality of where the industry is at right now. So if you enjoy like more raw videos like this, let me know, but I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, peace.